Who knows, maybe one of the people on our dossier. Medical bay over here, and maybe we can do something about these weird glowing scars or something. Wait a second. Dr. Chakwas? Dr. Chakwas is on this ship as well? How the hell did she get here? Let's find out.
Commander Shepard, I watched the Normandy crumble with you on board. It's good to see you alive.
I'm shocked. You're serving on a Cerberus vessel now?
Surprising, even to me. Yet, here I am. The kind of trauma you endured would have changed most people. But not you, I see. Welcome back, Shepard.
Do you have everything you need?
I believe so. This medical bay seems very much like the sick bay on the original Normandy. Only thing missing are my private reserves. I even had a bottle of Ceres Ice Brandy that I was saving for a special occasion.
I'll keep an eye out for a replacement bottle.
Oh, you needn't. It's expensive, and we have much larger concerns ahead.
Still, we'll keep an eye out for it.
Doctor, you've been with the Alliance for years. Why leave now?
After the Normandy was lost, the surviving crew was reassigned. I was stationed at the Mars Naval Medical Center, a very respectable position, but it wasn't on a starship.
Colonial military life isn't for you?
I've spent most of my life on warships, never knowing what the next mission might bring. I'm used to the hum of engines, the creaking of bulkheads, that subtle vertigo when the momentum dampeners kick in. Life planetside is just too static, too boring.
Guess that's one way to look at it.
You're not the Cerberus type, Doctor.
I don't work for Cerberus. I work for you. On a mission that may be crucial to the survival of the human race. I have faith that your dealings with Cerberus will be ethical. I trust you, Commander.
Alright, let's hope we can honor that trust.
There's a very good chance this mission will be a one-way trip. Are you prepared for that?
I've been through the reclaiming of Shanxi, the Skyllian Blitz. We survived the Battle of the Citadel and the destruction of the Normandy together. I've lived a full life. No regrets. I'd like to make sure the crew gets the same opportunity.
Fair enough.
I'll see you later, Doctor.
Commander.
I guess we can't ask her about these scars. Got more journal stuff. Find brandy. And some Barracon points. Always useful.
Access to the AI core is restricted.
I guess ED's servers are in there. But it's another place that is locked, and will remain so for the foreseeable future. Of course, back there is where the lab used to be, which is where Liara used to hang out. I can talk to ED about the medical bay as well.
What's this area of the ship?
The sick bay. It is equipped to provide short-term emergency care. In the event of critical injury, personnel must be transferred to a fully equipped medical facility.
Okay. Let's check out the last remaining deck. The elevator actually also tells you what's on each deck and who's on each deck, so you can see that Miranda's on this deck. And that Jacob is on this deck, and as soon as we pick up more people, they will also be listed here. They don't move around though, so they'll always be on the same deck, so as you know, you don't really need the indication. Last is engineering. Well, I guess Engineer Adams is no longer there. Let's see who Cerberus picked as our engineers. Although I suppose, considering that we have Joker and Dr. Chakwas here, it's not impossible for Adams to have joined them. Monitoring station, which gives us a codex entry about the UT-47 Kodiak drop shuttle, which is that shuttle over there, which we'll be using to get down to missions, because I think this new Normandy is too big to land and we don't have a Mako anymore. And good riddance to that, I'll say. And yeah, we can talk to Edie here.
What's this area of the ship?
Normandy's cargo deck. It includes facilities to rearm and repair Normandy's embarked ground vehicle and shuttle.
My last ship didn't need a shuttle. Why do we have one?
This ship is nearly twice the mass of the previous Normandy. It is more difficult to land the ship on high-gravity worlds.
Alright, I got starboard cargo and port cargo, both locked. And this leads into engineering. And there's a subdeck stairwell. And there are engineers. Donnelly and Daniels, apparently. Let's see.
You came all the way down here to see us?
You're speaking to our commanding officer.
I'm touring the ship, getting to know my crew.
I'm Engineer Ken Donnelly, handling the power control systems. This is Gabby.
That's Engineer Gabriella Daniels, actually. I'm responsible for the propulsion systems.
What can we do for you, Commander?
Are you set up okay down here?
We can't complain. I just wish it didn't take so long to calibrate the FBA arrays.
Kenneth, you're complaining.
What kind of problems are you having?
When they upgraded the Normandy design, they got a bit sloppy with the FBA couplings. I won't bore you with the tech, but there's an array of attenuators in the primary power transfer system that channels the field bleed.
Kenneth, you're boring the commander with tech. In short, if we had T6 FBA couplings installed, it'd save us a lot of maintenance time each day.
Why isn't something like that already installed?
It's probably just a design oversight. Efficiency isn't affected, it's a maintenance issue.
Also, the T6 model can be hard to find. Nash and Stellar Dynamics discontinued them.
We could probably find used ones in the Omega markets, but we have no time for shore leave.
But we're heading to Omega anyway, so we'll keep an eye out.
Where did you receive your training?
Both Gabby and I started in the Alliance, serving on the SSV Perugia.
She flew in the first wave at the Battle of the Citadel. We saw Sovereign firsthand.
Why did you leave the Perugia?
After you died, Anderson lost political clout. The Council backslid on the Reaper menace.
They discounted Sovereign as an isolated threat, as a single...
Which was bullshit. They said your warnings of a greater danger were mistaken or delusional.
We lost respect for Alliance leadership. We need to fight the real enemy, and only Cerberus seem to be doing that.
Yeah, seems like no one's actually taking our warnings seriously. I'm sure that's not going to bite them in the arse at some point.
How did you wind up with Cerberus, Ken?
Once you were gone, the Alliance brass descended like vultures, tearing apart everything you'd said. I was very public with my defense for you. I didn't hold back.
That's an understatement. If Kenneth wasn't such a talented engineer, they'd have court-martialed him for insubordination.
But it got me noticed by the elusive man. He made an offer, and here I am.
So why did you join, Gabby?
Kenneth and I have been partners in crime since we graduated from Tech Academy. When he got the Cerberus offer, I insisted that it include me. He'd fall apart without me.
Thanks, Mum.
Also, I love engines, and the Normandy is state-of-the-art. When I got the opportunity to work on her, I had to jump.
What do you think about Cerberus?
Actually, we don't know much about the organization other than the Normandy team. We know our mission and who's in charge.
We're off to kick the Collectors right in their daddy bags. That's enough for me.
Carry on.
Will do, Commander.
I really like these two. And we got another journal assignment to pick up some FBA couplings for them. Also, it's good to have a Scottish engineer, I suppose.
I'm amazed Shepard came down to see us.
I told you he would.
They have quite an interesting relationship. They're not quite boyfriend-girlfriend, but they sure do seem to act like they're married sometimes.
What's this area of the ship?
This is main engineering, which contains the ship's main fusion plant and Mass Effect core.
Brief and to the point. I kind of like the visual look of the old core more, but anyway. It kind of reminds me of Event Horizon for some reason, which is not a good movie to be reminded of. A, because it's a bad movie, and B, because it's a horror movie. This does look a lot less ominous than the ship in that movie, though. That's it for engineering. But there's a subdeck. Which is currently empty, it seems. There's a bunk here. Who would sleep down here? A desk. I don't really know. Storage space, maybe? Maintenance access? Something like that? And, as you'll see, whenever I come up the stairs, I will always go the wrong way. And that's it for our tour of the Normandy. Let's take a look in our journal. We already found a couple of assignments, some of which are DLC. Others are ones we just heard about. We have to find FBA couplings for Ken and Gabby on Omega. We have to find Sarah's ice brandy for Dr. Chakwas at a store somewhere. It's very vague. And some special ingredients for Mess Sergeant Gardner at the Citadel. We also have 3 DLC related assignments. Project Overlord, which we won't be doing for a while. Project Firewalker, Rosalie Lost. Rosalie was the name of the ship, which is apparently lost. We have to go to Ziona, search for signs of the Hammerhead prototype vehicle and any signs of Dr. Case and Oloy. And the Normandy crash site has been found on the planet Elchera. We've been there before, or at least in that system, haven't we? I think we have. Sounds familiar. Or maybe it's just familiar from my previous playthrough of this game. I don't know. Probably that. But we can go there and see the old Normandy, or what's left of it. Which will be interesting. On the plot front, we have our main mission, Stop the Collectors. Cerberus has determined that an alien race called the Collectors is attacking human colonies. They are assembling a team to stop this threat to humanity. So that's our current mission, to assemble a team based on the dossiers we got from the Elusive Man. Like I said, I'd much rather try and find my old team, but that doesn't seem to be an option. We have our dossiers. The Master Thief, well, I already read the descriptions on the character screen, so I don't really need to read these. So we need to go to the Citadel to find Kasumi Goto. The Veteran is on Omega. We should also go to the Citadel and meet with the Council. That's what Anderson contacted us about. Pick up the Professor on Omega. Apparently we need to talk to someone called Area at a place called Afterlife. Well, we were just dead. Would be easier to talk to we were there then. Or am I taking that too literal? Then the Warlord. Archangel is also on Omega. And the Convict is in Purgatory. What's with the Afterlife references? And of course we've already finished Freedom's Progress, The Awakening, and Save Joker, which was just the bit where the Normandy blew up. And that's it for now. Let's go somewhere and do something. The galaxy map has changed from the first game. Rather than just a simple point-and-click interface, we now have a miniature Normandy around here, and we can fly it around. It will follow the mouse cursor, basically. And here's our eventual destination, the Omega 4 relay. The Omega-4 relay is surrounded by hazard beacons and automated warnings. Over the last 1,000 years, many ships have attempted to pass through it, but none have returned. The only ones to pass freely and back and forth through the relay are the mysterious collectors. There are many theories why ships never return from Omega-4. Some say there's a black hole at the far end. Others, mostly the impoverished underclass of Omega, believe there is some form of earthly paradise. Most, however, simply think that the collectors capture or destroy those passing through the relay. That seems the most likely explanation.
Until we have a solution in place, we cannot utilize the Omega-4 relay.
That's obvious. We seem to be near Omega, which is good, because we want to recruit the professor first, because we need him for research, and because he can help with the collectors. We're also close to the Normandy crash site, apparently. Now there's a fuel depot here, which you can use to buy fuel. Apparently we don't have any at the moment. The fuel is not needed to fly around in a system, but as soon as you want to leave...
We must purchase more fuel or use a mass relay, Shepard.
Then you need fuel. So let's buy some fuel. That does cost money. Not that much, so it's not really an issue. As soon as you leave the system, you will get a zoomed out view like before. And you will have to fly to the different systems yourself, manually. And that does take fuel, and you don't have enough fuel to get to all systems, so you usually have to return to a system with a mass relay, a system with a mass relay and a fuel depot to get more to go to the other systems, especially in a cluster like this, which has quite a few systems in it. And we'll be exploring those later. The other thing you could buy at a fuel depot are probes. We have 10 probes at the moment, out of a maximum of 30, so you can buy those, 5 at a time. Again, costs a little bit of money. And we'll see what those are for later. I'm not going to bother with that right now. Right now, I'm going to Omega. Because we have a lot of stuff to do there. Apparently it's some kind of space station. Built in the mined-out husk of a metallic asteroid, Omega has been a haven for criminals, terrorists, and malcontents for thousands of years. At times, the station has lain idle and abandoned for centuries, only to be reactivated by a new group of outlaws seeking a fresh start. The space station's original, elegant design is given way to haphazard expansion by scrabbling factions of every species. There is no central government or unifying authority on Omega, and nobody can recall a time there ever was one. Population 7.8 million, orbital distance 2.43 AU, orbital period 6.9 Earth years, orbital length total length 44.7 kilometers. Seems like it's sort of an anti-citadel. Sounds like the kind of place where you want to carry a gun. Fortunately, we have plenty of those. Where are we attempting to fly into an asteroid field? Doesn't Shepard know the odds of successfully navigating an asteroid field? I guess Joker's a better pilot than Han Solo was. Or maybe asteroid fields are not as dangerous in this game. Alright, get to pick our squad, and what a lot of choice we have. And it also reminds you to level up, which is good. I have 2 points, and I think I'll put those in Tech Mastery, because that's helps with recharge time and all of my other powers, which is always a good thing. Your engineering is more efficient, reducing the recharge time of your powers. Your mental focus increases your Paragon and Renegade scores. Let's see. Jacob has 3 points. And I think I'll spend 2 points on incendiary ammo for him. Burns and wounds organic targets, blocking health regeneration, damaging armor and making unshielded enemies panic. Synthetic enemies are more resistant to fire damage. It's much the same as my incinerate technique. I have 1 point left, but can't use it now. To wait until we level up again. 3 points for her, and I guess I'll do a similar thing and level up Cerberus Officer for her. One of the annoying things is that if you keep upgrading these talents every time you level up, then by the time you actually unlock the loyalty power, you won't have any points left. And there's only one way to reset powers, which requires you to do one of the downloadable content missions. For yourself, you can do it another way, but for your squad members, you can only do it if you did that one particular DLC that I'm talking about. So, at some point, once you reach a certain level, you might want to hold back some points so you have some left to put in Slam or the other bonus talents. But we're not nearly high enough level yet. We're only level 5 out of 30 for that to be a real concern. Finally, we get to pick our loadout. I don't think we have much choice at this point. We have only 1 pistol, so we can't choose. We have only one machine pistol and 1 heavy pistol, so there's no choices there. We do have a different heavy weapon, which I think is the arc projector, but I'm going to stick with the grenade launcher for now, because I don't really like the arc projector. You can also choose the weapons for the other 2, but I don't think they have any options, and they don't carry heavy weapons. This basically replaces the inventory. There's no more upgrades, and you don't get nearly as many different weapons. Most of the time you do get a new weapon, they are a clear upgrade of an older weapon, so there's very rarely any reason not to equip them. So that's a lot simpler, but also a lot less involved. I personally would have preferred it if they had kept the different weapons and upgrades and trade-offs and stuff that you could do, but just made management easier than it was in Mass Effect 1. But, well, I guess this will have to do. Oh, need to pick exit here.
Welcome to Omega. You're new here, aren't you? I can always tell. Allow me to... Oh, hello, Mocklin. I was just...
Leave, Fargate. Now.
Oh, of course, Mocklin. Whatever she wants.
Blasted scavengers. Welcome to Omega, Shepard.
You know who I am?
Of course. We had you tagged the moment you entered the Terminus systems. You're not as subtle as you think. Arya wants to know what brings a dead Spectre to Omega. I suggest you go to Afterlife now and present yourself.
I'll keep that in mind.
Afterlife now.
I think that's the first time.
Receiving quarantine warnings about the slums where Dr. Morden Solus runs the clinic. Anticipate resistance at the transport station. I have also accessed messages between mercenary groups regarding plans to deal with the Archangel. There's a recruiting station at Afterlife that may have information on him.
That's actually the first time I think I was happy to see a Batarian. Because that Solarian was kind of annoying. You can't talk to your crew members during missions. When they have something to say, they'll say it. There's no way you can talk to anyone at random anymore. In this area we do have a map. Unlike during the missions. So currently we're here. We can return to the Normandy from here if we want. It's apparently a transport depot. This place called Afterlife, where this person called Arya is, that apparently we have to talk to. Merc Recruiter, that apparently has to do with Archangel. More parts of Afterlife. Some stores, indicated by the $sign here. And a shuttle to the quarantine zone, which is where we want to go for Morden. But apparently this Arya wants to talk to us. So let's explore around here a bit first and see what this Arya wants and who she is. We got a journal entry for that, and there's no shortcut key for that anymore. Arya Talok, ruler of Omega, wants all important new arrivals to pay their respects to her at Afterlife. She may be a valuable source of information. Okay, well I guess we'll go and meet her. But Zaeed is over here, it seems.
Please.
Shut it.
He's one of the people we're trying to recruit.
Please. You have to help me.
No one said you could talk, jackass.
You Zaeed Massani?
Yeah, that's me. You must be Commander Shepard. Hey, we have a galaxy to save.
I assume you've been briefed?
I've done my homework. Cerberus sent me everything I needed to know.
My contacts told me we're picking up one man, not two.
Batarian delinquent. Pissed off someone rich enough to hire me to go after him. And for my bring him in alive rates even.
Please. I didn't do it.
I said shut it. Tried to lead me on a chase all over the systems. He should have known better. These people always run to Omega.
What's gonna happen to him?
I'm gonna turn him in for the bounty. Don't much care what happens after that.
What's your relationship with Cerberus?
Easy. Cerberus is paying me a lot of money to help you on your mission. That's the long and short.
Not many mercs would take a suicide mission for the pay.
Most mercs don't get an offer like the one Cerberus sent me. This mission doesn't sound like good business, but your elusive man can move a lot of credits.
Good to have you, Zaeed. We have a lot to do.
That's what they tell me. I assume the elusive man told you about our arrangement.
What kind of arrangement?
Picked up a mission a little while back, just before I signed on with Cerberus. Thought you might be interested. You heard the name Vidos Santiago? He's the head of the Blue Suns, runs the whole organization. Seems he recently captured an Eldfell Ashland refinery on Zoya, and is using their workers for slave labor. The company wants it dealt with.
I'll make sure we get that done.
Good. Get it out of the way so we can concentrate on being big goddamn heroes. I better turn this thing in before it starts to stink. I'll be locked and loaded next time you're ready to get some killing done.
Unlike the other dossiers, Zaeed and Kasumi don't have a recruitment mission. You just meet them somewhere and then they join you. They do have another mission for you to do, which is basically their loyalty mission. All of the squad mates have loyalty missions. But Zaeed and Kasumi, being DLC characters, only have loyalty missions. They don't have recruitment missions. Whereas the others will require more work. Alright, let's go and check out Omega. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. Let's go see what there's to do here.